Hey, everybody, and welcome to episode 3 of Sistaz Talking Ish on the Real Ish Radio Network. Today is a special occasion because for the last 3 weeks now, me and both of my lovely sister-in-laws here, I'll let them introduce themselves. I'm Kalia.
I'm Salita.
I'm Tiff.
And we're 3 sister-in-laws who just so happen to be married to 3 brothers.
3. I put 2 fingers up.
Not 1, not 2, but 3 brothers. And today we have our first guest. I think it only makes sense that our first guest for today's podcast is
another sister.
So we have the baby sister, our sister-in-law of our husbands. Can we introduce Chris? Hey, Chris.
I love the introduction, the baby sister. I'm going to be 50 and still be the baby sister.
Always. It doesn't matter.
You're going to always be your baby. So usually every week, we start off by first talking about what we did this week. So what you do this week?
Oh my gosh, I had a sick kid this week, but I worked with a sick kid, and my 6-year-old had to take a COVID test, and that was heartbreaking to watch.
Did they put it in her nose?
They put it in her nose, but she did it. She cried after, but I felt like she did really good because I have yet to take a COVID test, and I think I would have performed. And she cried. She sat in my lap for a second, cried a little bit longer, and then it was like, okay, let's just go back to watching YouTube. So she watched YouTube, and now she's feeling better. So life is kind of coasting, but I've had a lot of sleepless nights. But it's spring break for me, so I'm off work for the week now.
I just want to hug her.
She's better. She's better. Okay. I woke up to her jumping on the bed that I was sleeping on. She's fine.
Oh, she's good.
Well, yeah, she's healed.
It's over. It's over. We're good.
So we all had to take COVID tests when we went to Hawaii. Rod, Tiff's husband, said that he was
nasally raped.
Listen, he said they went all up in back to his soul, all the way back to his soul, and swiped it, then went to the other nose, and swiped his other soul.
Oh my!
But mine was good. I guess it depends on the person that you have.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was horrendous.
Because Salita said it was the worst thing that she ever experienced.
It was the worst thing. I would prefer to get an epidural.
Good.
Epidurals don't hurt.
Not anal raped.
Anal raped.
Not the booty hole.
It wasn't that bad for me, and they let me and Ken do ours together. And the weird thing is, we had a black nurse who did ours for us, but she walked us through the entire process. So she literally told us what position to hold our nose, what position to hold our head. She told us how to breathe. She walked us through everything, so it wasn't that bad. I could do it again. I wouldn't want my kids to do it though.
I want to do the mouth. I need to do the mouth.
See the baby. I feel like, my baby would no.
You prefer to take care of the mouth, you said?
Never mind.
You opened that door for her. You knew she was walking through it.
Walked right through.
I was so nervous, but it was fine for me.
I would rather stay in the house than take that test. Just leave me at home.
Exactly.
That's just where I'm at. I'll just stay away from people. I'm okay. This quarantine has been working for me.
Yeah.
Don't you feel like so Chris, you are a educator. Okay. How do you feel about the whole vaccine?
How do I feel about the vaccine? I'll wait. I'm not in a rush to get the vaccine. Personally, I don't like shots. So why would I just volunteer you to shoot me even though it's supposed to save my life? I'll just stay at home. I don't have a reason to really leave the house anyway. So I'll just wait. The thing is, okay, really what happened? Somebody was like, you remember when they said that cigarettes was healthy and a stress reliever for everybody? And then 30 years later, everybody started dying because they were smoking.
Yep.
So let's take this vaccine right now. And then 30 years later, we just all start falling off. But we all have a time to go. But I'm just going to wait. I'm not in a rush to get it. I think I will eventually get it. I have really thought about it lately, considered it lately, but I think it's more so because the mass of people is getting, and I was telling Kalia earlier, I'm I don't want to be that one child left behind. But even after I said that to you on the phone, I was like, well, you are set apart and you're different and it's okay. So just take your time. So I'm not in a rush to go get shot because I don't like shots.
Yeah, we did agree earlier today that I'm going to get mine when you get yours.
And we decided that we're going to wait.
Wow.
After we get ours,
6 months after y'all.
When are you going to get yours?
Never. I'm just kidding.
I feel like I'm healthy. I work really, really hard to keep my immune system intact. So I'm in no hurry, really. I'm in no hurry to get it. The only caveat is if they say you can't travel.
But here you go.
Listen, shoot me up, playing. Right, this the good arm right here because we love to
She gonna be
travel.
in there like,
Go ahead.
give it to
Right
me.
there.
I do it
Right there,
myself.
play. Like we love to travel, so that would be my
Yeah.
only condition that I would actually consent to getting it done. Like I'm in no hurry.
So do you think they're going to stop state to state travel or international travel? So domestic travel is the term I should have used. Do you think they're going to stop domestic travel if you don't have?
I do it.
I feel eventually, like Salita said,
Yeah.
eventually it's gonna be just whenever you want to leave your state, you're going to have to show proof that you have been vaccinated.
Or even not state. Even if you if you want to do some type of international travel, I can see them saying that you would need to because there was something an article, and I could be wrong. But I saw that one of the stadiums were saying they were going to have a area for people who are vaccinated to sit.
Wow. So now we're going to have segregation.
How are they doing that?
Contingent upon your vaccination
They
status.
can't do that though.
I mean, they do got a
Can they?
vaccination card.
They can't. It's against the HIPAA
Why?
laws for you to have to disclose your that's whether or not you've been vaccinated or not is a part of your medical record.
But you still disclosing it to get a Krispy Kreme donut every day, don't you?
That's what I wanted to ask her about because she wanted to talk about the health aspect, and we were just having this conversation. Me and Chris was just having this conversation earlier. So apparently, Krispy Kreme is now offering one free donut per day if you get the COVID vaccine.
Listen, I cannot. This is the.
Let me tell you something.
How you feel about this?
Let me tell you something.
How you feel about one donut per day?
I am a certified. Good grief. I'm a certified nutrition coach and a certified fitness nutrition specialist. I do not advocate for any use of added sugar ever. And this right here, it upsets me.
I said the same thing. I said we're literally trading one health benefit for another.
So get some diabetes later on.
But let me tell you. Let me tell you who's gonna be in the line if they have one.
Jamie.
Listen,
but wait,
get the COVID.
He will be in there as soon as Krispy Kreme like come on saying hot. He'll be in line like, oh, it's time for me to go get donut now. Here goes my card.
But wait, the vaccine doesn't like prevent you from having COVID. You can still have COVID with the vaccine. It just reduces your chances of having COVID. So
similar to the flu shot.
Yeah, correct. Salita knows someone who got COVID after getting the COVID vaccine.
Yes.
And for the
record, that's why we just gonna wait.
I think your husband would actually force all of y'all to get the COVID vaccine so that he can get multiple donuts.
Yeah, Mimi, he like she want a donut. She want a donut. Later one donut. Everybody.
Does he share the donut with y'all?
Will he share it?
No.
Yeah. He gonna eat them all. He share his snacks with me. I get the treats. When I come to town, he brings his treats, okay? I just was curious to share with y'all.
That's because you a visitor.
That's a baby sister perk.
If you live here in Arizona with us, you know what I'm saying? You got a friend for yourself.
He be like, you see how small this donut is?
This is for me. You should have ordered your own.
Mm-hmm. Okay, y'all better leave my brother alone.
He cool though. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So Tiff, what you do this week?
Listen, this week I was working because last weekend I was in Detroit. So I was catching up on work and working on my secret project.
How was Detroit?
Detroit was, you know, my voice gets high pitched. It's like, okay, so Detroit was great and all, but it was a series of unfortunate events. So from the moment we touched down, it was like event after event after event. And so my daughter, she's 13, she says, Mom, it's a sign. She's like, we moved. We moved and it was the right move because the energy when we got to Detroit was like, oh my God.
It's so bad.
We could not wait to leave. And so my husband was saying that. He was like, I never thought I would be in a rush, like in a hurry to exit Detroit. And I was like, babe, listen, let me tell you something. I was ready to go when we touched down. How about that?
It's like that because when you're driving in Romulus and you look like, oh, why that grass look like this?
But it's home. Let me be clear.
Yes.
Detroit
y'all making
will
Chris
always
mad.
be. I'm sorry. Love you, boo.
I'm completely offended.
It will always be home. It will always be home. But this particular visit was plagued. It was plagued by event after event, and we were just like ready. We were over it, ready to go. So,
But maybe that was the closure and the
but
confirmation you all
the
didn't
good
need it.
part was I saw my family, I saw my friends. Like that was
And
the
that's
great
always a
part.
plus.
That
Yes.
part,
Yeah.
but the other stuff I could do without.
Yeah.
So now I gotta go upstairs and tell my husband we need to expedite this move.
Okay,
I mean, basically.
come through,
Let
come
go.
through, come through.
Just going on time. Let go.
I mean, we got her, she positive, and then we need somebody to just come and get our life together, and then we just be,
You
it's
had
just
a
be a
whole
whole
crew
circle. You know?
solidified.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stay over there and wait.
We go. That's all right because I got my husband in your husband's ear, so it's all good.
We attacking it from all ends.
I'm here for it.
What you do this week?
Well, I was on unemployed for a couple of days this week, and then I started my new job on Thursday.
How was it?
Oh, well, of course, with any new job, you're not doing anything for the first 2 days. I probably really won't start doing anything to Monday, but other than that, it was pretty cool.
Awesome.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. So do you feel like it's a good, like you're trying to assess if it's
You know
a good
what?
fit?
I guess I'm nervous. I've never been hired in as a manager. I've always been promoted within a company, so I guess I'm kind of nervous with that and having a new team and just all of that. But I feel it'll be fine.
Gotcha. So, sis, Kalia, how was your week?
Just like every other week. I did absolutely nothing. I too am on the Chris COVID plan. So I spend my weeks in my home, working from my home, schooling from my home, homeschooling my kids from my home. I just don't go nowhere.
So, when do you leave the house? What is essential enough for you to leave your house?
Nothing. He has been so
Groceries
mad at
or-
me. He's been so mad at me throughout this pandemic because I don't even go to the grocery store.
So, how do you like?
She
How do y'all
already
eat?
know.
Y'all over here eating? Like, how does that happen?
So my parents are there. So since they've been there, they've been going more regularly.
Okay.
So that helps. But prior to them coming, I would maybe go to the grocery store like once a month. And we would kind of tough it out. As a matter of fact, that's how we ended up with the second refrigerator in the garage now. Because I'm like, so at least if I go once a month, I could just stock up a whole bunch.
And I didn't even know that went in there. I said,
Wait a minute. There's another refrigerator.
somebody got a whole new
It's
refrigerator
always
in
been a
here.
freezer out there, but now it's a big refrigerator out there too.
Okay, I learned something new, folks.
I know, right?
We have a whole other source of food in the
So
garage.
I got a question. How do you shop once a month? I need to figure out how to do that. What's the trick to shopping once a month?
I shop all the time. So how you do it?
So I used to coupon heavily. So I'm really good when it comes to like stockpiling. So you just kind of like buy a lot at one time. And then a lot of the stuff you buy, you can refrigerate it or you can put it in the pantry. My pantry is pretty large. So y'all right here shaking your head.
I didn't even
I
do
know.
We
that.
love your pantry. Your pantry's awesome.
That's where life is.
You have to put an air bed in there.
Okay.
Like,
You cannot put a bed in there.
Yes,
So
you can.
This small twin side.
Twin side air mattress.
most things I can buy in bulk and then I can just stock up on them. And then Ken will go to the store. So he'll get things like we run out of milk or, stuff like that you can't store for a month. And he'll go out and grab stuff
So
like
basically, she got her husband going out there with the chances of getting COVID while she stays
Me
safe.
too,
now.
sis.
that. And I don't know why I'm so comfortable with that because they did say that COVID is sexually transmitted. So we should be nervous. We shouldn't be really nervous if our husbands out there on the sword like that because they can bring it right back.
Oh my God.
Listen, I was saying, Chris, love you, but your brother, I was sending him with a list. Like, if he's going somewhere, he's like, hey, you need anything? I'll be like, hold on. I have a whole list of stuff for him because it doesn't make any sense for two people to go out and risk exposure. If one person is going out, go ahead out and get everything that we need.
I feel bad about it. I'm not gonna lie. So it's not easy. I do feel bad. I even feel bad when that my mom goes now because I'm like technically she's at a higher risk than I am.
She don't care. She be out. That little car be
gone.
She can't sit still. It's the cancer in her. She can't sit still. I can't sit still because David would prefer to go to the store, but I'm like, I gotta go. I can't let you go with my list. Like, and he does great. Like in the beginning of COVID, I was all for it. But honestly, grocery shopping is kind of like a piece for me, and I kind of enjoy it. I kind of enjoy knowing that I'm saving money when I'm shopping. How about that?
Got you.
Interesting.
Ooh, you are your
Every
mama's child, baby. You got your coupons too.
every
I
I
single
don't
know.
have
time
coupons though. I'm not good at that part.
You
I
haven't
got
got to
you.
that level yet. That's
I got
it's
you,
all
boo.
good. We got you.
Every single time I go to the grocery store, I wake up the next day with COVID-like symptoms.
Oh my God.
Just
And,
How about every time I go outside, I feel like that.
yeah, like when we went to Vegas.
oh my God. We were in Vegas.
I almost had a panic
Meltdown.
attack.
Yes.
Like I
Meltdown.
was in the bathroom and everybody was worried about me, and I was in there forever
She
because I was
checking
like
emails
trying
on
to
the
get
toilet.
myself together. I literally was in the bathroom. We went to Vegas, and it was so many. Let me tell you something. COVID is clearly not in Vegas because they were out there. It was no
And
different
this is
from when
before
I
they were
went.
open. Now they're open. Like the pools are open, the
Really?
clubs are open.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
So I
Yeah.
was in the
You was
bathroom, and
like,
they
what
were
is she
all worried, and
doing?
I was
She
in the
was like,
stall like, "You can do this."
She probably had a 10 toilet covers and just on her like this.
I was like, "You can do this."
wait a minute. So the other day we were watching like videos, just kind of doing research for the show. And there was this lady in this YouTube video that had this whole like face, like hazmat
That's her.
type apparatus. And
It
so
was
Talia was
amazing.
like, "It's a lady on there that's got that
Yep.
It was
that little
amazing.
mask
Let
thing
me
that
tell you
she
something.
won." Like,
If her husband if he would allow her to have that,
I would.
she would be an astronaut, looking like she is about to go into space. She would have one.
And I would have it on right now.
You're worse
he
than me.
he
I'm not
was
that bad, Kalia.
Oh my
Yeah, he does. He
god!
tells me that I'm being ridiculous, but I would be sitting here right now with a full hazmat suit on.
That's your mother-in-law though. Like we in the store and this lady asked her to get something for her, and she's like, "Yeah, I can get it, but you gotta stay 6 feet. You gotta keep your social
and she
distance."
has no problem saying you gonna have to move you a little too close, okay?
When we were getting on the plane to come here, it was a 90. I swear that lady had to have been 90 years old, and she said, "You not social distance."
You know what? I couldn't drink. I had to put my cup down because I would have spit my drink out.
I respect that. She's like, listen,
She turned around and told this lady, "You not social distancing."
She's like, I don't care how.
But it looks
I
like
don't care how much food you
But
got on your
from what I
knees.
hear from when everything started, it looks like she's starting to come out more.
it does. It seems like she's getting a little bit
Chris
more
like, nah.
comfortable. But she
She
can't
Here
travel.
though.
She
So
traveled.
today, she said Kalia said, "I have a circle." She said, "I have a dot. The only person I let in and out my house is Christian. The only reason I get to come in and out her house, y'all, is because of my children." Yeah. If I didn't have kids, I'd be outside on the porch too.
She won't
I'm
let
not.
her husband, her son. She won't let him in the house for a minute. He had to force his way in.
I'm the dot. I'm the only one she let in. So no, she has not gotten better. I find it interesting though because she'll go to the store, but I think that's her out too. Like that's my out, but she will not family gatherings. No, you gonna sit on her porch. You gonna stop at that door. She gonna spray the door after you leave. She gonna spray the seat. Yeah, no, she not playing it, which I respect it. I appreciate it.
Arizona. I give her mad props for traveling.
But even when we went to Detroit, like we went to Detroit and she let us come over, but she had on a mask. I made sure we all kept our mask on. I was like, listen, Grandma Jack is not playing no games with y'all, okay?
She's fully vaccinated now. She's
Yep.
fully vaccinated.
She's fully vaccinated.
Wait now. She's gonna wait 2 weeks to see people and be around people like for real. So we'll see how her comfort level changes with the vaccination. We'll see. Maybe.
Can I ask you all a question? Well, I guess I kind of got a feel for it. How do you feel now that your state has lifted the mask mandate?
I don't know those people.
Me either.
Baby, I was in Walmart yesterday and it was a whole family with all the kids, ages, whatever, 2 all the way up. Nobody had on that one mask. And I was just like,
I don't
I'm
know
gonna let
them.
them go.
I
Because
do not know them.
even though, yes, the state may be open, but that does not mean you have to follow that sanction.
But you know
you
what?
can still wear your stuff.
Majority of the places still make you put a mask on.
Yeah, true.
Because we went to a restaurant yesterday and the guy didn't one of the customers didn't have a mask on and she said, "Oh no, you have to put your mask on." So I believe it's up to the business whether or not you have to wear a mask or not.
I thought I read because your husband sent an article that says something. I read the whole thing. It says something like
I gotta read his
they have been.
articles.
I did. Listen, Jamie,
That's so
he
nice.
he will keep us informed.
She said that's.
But I read it.
Selena
And
always throwing shade.
She ignored when he was
It'd be
sending
so
us stuff in the
low-key,
group
though.
chat and everybody would respond, but his own wife.
She's like, I'm not messing with him. Mm-mm. But the article, I saw a section that says something like individual proprietors have been stripped of their ability to refuse
Really?
service for not wearing a mask.
Really?
I'm so serious. Unless I was mistaken, but I read the article he sent today or yesterday, and I was like, wait a minute, that's too much.
Well, I'll let y'all know what it's like when I go to Houston.
So I need
Yeah,
to I need us to back up 2 tiny steps.
Okay.
And I want to go back to Salita's experience outdoors yesterday after Arizona announced that we was wide open and you no longer needed to work. What I need to know what happened, because you told us about your week, but I feel like you left something out.
So I gotta
Somebody told me that you was Black Karen this
Oh!
weekend, and I need to know
I had to close
you
my pearl.
did.
Wait a minute.
So it was my mom's 60th birthday. Happy birthday, Mom!
Happy birthday.
So we went out to a restaurant and I'm sitting and eating, and then I'm looking out the window because they had like outside seating. So it was 2 girls and they were on dates. They would look like they were on a double date. And they were like kissing on each other. Then one girl got up and started grinding, like she straddled her and started grinding on her like this.
And you sitting there with your mom, like
Her hands down her shirt. This is a restaurant. It's at a mall. So you got people walking by, people walking by on their phone. They like this
in the food court.
Yes. Kissing each other and everything in public, right?
You said they were physically on top of each other.
Physically on top of each other.
So they
Hand down shirt.
Yes.
I heard that part.
Yes.
It was going down.
So, me, I was like, oh, this is unacceptable. Unacceptable. The waitress came over. I said, this is physically making my stomach hurt. I can't even concentrate on eating my food right now.
Did you seriously hit them? Excuse me. I need to speak to the manager.
I sure did when I said, this is physically making my stomach hurt. I can't even eat my food right now. It's just disturbing. It's unacceptable.
It's rude. Yeah.
So what happened?
The manager went over there and they left.
So you got those white people kicked out the restaurant.
It felt amazing.
You dang right.
Did you feel like you was up here and they was down here?
Yes.
I did the same doggone thing.
It
I
felt
have
really
a right
good.
to eat and be comfortable where I
It felt really good.
So, I feel you.
Speak it up. Using that voice.
My mom was sitting there like, and Jamie was like, oh my God. Especially when I said my stomach hurt. It's making my stomach hurt.
I did the same darn thing. I'm paying my money to eat here, and you all can take that somewhere.
Oh my God. And then
Sorry.
it looks like her date looked like he was uncomfortable because you know how he was like,
He was like, whoa.
He was, he got that nervous smile.
He's like, this supposed to be done back at the room. This ain't right here in the restaurant. Dang, y'all. Blowing the spot up.
Hey, we got a comment that says Salita is Carly.
Yep. Yep. That's the Black version of Karen.
Carla. I stand by my sister because
you gotta take every advantage you can to be superior to white people.
Especially out here in Arizona.
Exactly.
Okay.
That was a win for the culture.
Yeah, we got a comment. Excel said that's a win for the culture.
Okay. Definite win.
Salita out here getting us
Good
points.
job, Salita.
It made me feel so good to see them walk out.
Happy for you.
But that is really good though, like using your voice. Most of us are scared to speak up.
We be sitting there talking smack, like, "Oh my God, I can't believe this is happening right now." But she spoke up. So
No, because if that would have been any one of us doing that with one another, they would have called.
somebody would have said something on us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They would have. You're absolutely right.
The police.
However,
I know.
and we had this conversation last night.
I know.
Like, if we would have been there, if it would have been like me, Ken, and Jamie all agreed that if we would have been there, we just would have been like watching, like, trying to see how far they was gonna go. You know,
they went far.
And this would have been like,
That's how we end up in jail and stuff, and they get to keep feeling like they're superior.
Yep.
Because we just want to be bystanders.
I think I would be too intrigued though by people fucking in the restaurant though. I don't think I would.
I understand, but I understand that standpoint too. But then you got the same, like, again, if it was one of us, The police would have been called on us. We would have been escorted out of the store. It wouldn't have been a simple conversation like the manager. Honestly,
Mm-hmm. It wasn't
but the
inside the restaurant. It was outside the restaurant. So you got kids walking by with their ice cream next to the gelato place.
They supposed to be in the house anyway. We're in the middle of a Panda Express. Like,
Panda Express.
why are they out there with shit?
I could not wear.
Woo.
Well, good job, Salita or Carla. Good job, Carla.
Good job,
Thank
Carla.
you. Thank you. Thank
Good
you.
job.
Thank you.
Party finished.
But this week, right? I mean, coming into like the 2021, it's just been rough. Like these people have been tripping this year.
Yeah, it's been pretty bad.
What's going on this week? What we got going on?
Oh, wait. I did do something though.
What?
Y'all asked me what I did, and you were asking me what it would take to get me out the house, and I just thought about it. I did. The first time I left the house was to come here.
Uh-huh.
That don't even
We've
count.
been here. No, but we've been here all day.
Wait. We came here on Wednesday.
I did. We came here on Wednesday, so we
Sure
came here on
did.
Wednesday, and we came back today. But I want to talk about what we did today. I want to share it with everybody, and I want to share something that I want us to talk about.
Okay.
Right? So today we did a lot of promo for the podcast.
Yes.
That's why we have our matching.
Listen.
Came ready. They ain't sent me one.
Chris.
We did. We took a lot of pictures. We did some videos, and we had a conversation. And I want to propose this question to you, Chris, but we were looking at some of the pictures, and it was easy for us to compliment one another. So to say like, oh, wow, you look really good in that picture. But when it came to ourselves, we all were not having the most favorable feedback when it came to our own pictures. So I want to know, what do you think about women? It's easy for us to uplift one another, but why is it also so easy for us to tear ourselves down?
Because we have already identified our flaws before we got in front of the camera. So we know what issues we're working on.
Ooh, I like it.
So even when I got on here with y'all, I told y'all, like, y'all came ready for the world. Why y'all ain't call me something to get my life? I feel like playing Jane compared to y'all. Teach me how to beat my face. I don't know how to beat my face. But that is something I already am aware of and something that I would like to work on. But honestly, I don't have that skill set. That's not my gift. But I'm confident in who I am still. But it's something like personally, like I battle with, like I don't really want to turn to this side because I got acne going on. But it's something I can pinpoint. I'm already aware of. And I've looked at lots of pictures like that's not my favorite because I can see that my eye is going this way when it should be going that way. Why is it easy for us to do that? Why are we comfortable doing that? Heck, there are a lot of people who aren't comfortable doing it. So what if you couldn't recognize what was wrong with you?
That's true.
Yeah.
I think we all have to focus on still being kinder to one another, though, or kinder to ourselves. I would say. Because even when you came on, because like we did have like a little, we were chatting it up. Oh, look, we got a little sneak shot.
Oh, snap.
Came.
Listen.
But when we were looking at them on the screen, like we literally were like hearing, not uplifting each other, like being like, dang, sis, you look good in this.
So pretty, you look. And then I was like, oh my God.
Let me tell you something.
When she said that, I said, girl, she almost got jumped today.
Girl, I was sucking my. I thought I
arm beefy.
Again, and apparently
her own arm beefy.
I was sitting here like her arm beefy of all people arm that's beefy.
Exactly.
But that's in my own
That's
eyes.
right.
That's what I saw.
Yep.
You know.
But that's what I mean.
So where does that come from, though?
Yeah.
Where does it come from? Us being the worst on ourselves, and the rest of the world saying, "You look great."
I think most of it, and like I always throw it back to social media. I think you look at what other people look at, and you feel insecure about yourself because, and I don't know if they felt like this. And this ties into, we all watched the Aretha movie. This ties back to like the 60s, 70s, and all of that. Some people were, people were overweight. Mm-hmm. They had all the self-confidence in the world.
Okay. Living their best life.
Eating all fried chicken, macaroni and cheese, and all that stuff like that. And they were cool. But now we're like, we are here buying. I got so many workout videos, subscriptions that I pay for, and I still look like this.
But even Chris saying stuff like she thought that she looked like a plain Jane. As soon as she came on behind the scenes today, we immediately was like, "Oh my God, he said she looks so cute."
I love your.
But we can't see it in ourselves.
Yes.
Yep.
But I was still confident because I wouldn't have showed up this way. But it's still the little quirks that I know that I'm working on, you know?
Yeah.
It doesn't take away from me not believing. Like, I wouldn't have came on here if I thought I was ugly. Like, if it was really that bad, y'all, I'd be like, we got to do this. I got a hair appointment Tuesday, okay? But so I think it's just the things we are able to identify and we're able to work on, or we know that's what we are working on. The comment says we're our own worst critics.
We are.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Iron sharpens iron, and sometimes that iron has to come from within.
Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I think
Being
we just
able
have
to self-correct.
Yeah, yeah, and I think that's the key. And I'm saying this while also being guilty of this, but I just think we have to be a better. We have to get better at while also seeing what the areas that we need to improve on. We also have to see the beauty in where we currently are right now as well.
That's true.
Like you can't just look at yourself and just see the bad. I know that it's hard because that's literally like it's at the forefront of your mind, so that's what you see first. But we have to do a better job at also acknowledging the areas and where we are beautiful.
Celebrating
Absolutely.
yourself. Wake up and celebrate yourself. So tell me this. I gotta flip it on y'all now. Tell me one great thing about you, each of you. Why aren't you ready?
Okay.
It's hard for me to do that. I can't do that.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
You go first.
Oh gosh.
I can't
I
do
would say
it.
mine is that I am a lot of times unrealistically optimistic. Like I tend to be like looking at the bright side, even when everybody else is like, "Girl, you tripping."
Are you talking about a physical
It
thing?
could be
or
anything. Anything
I'm
that you want to celebrate about yourself.
Yeah, just that I really try to be optimistic and look at the bright side.
I need therapy. I don't.
You
I
gotta take a
don't.
drink first.
I don't have anything.
Yes, you do. Oh my gosh, Salita taught me. Let me tell you about Salita. Hold
I need
on.
therapy. I don't have nothing. Because it's weird. You don't. I can't do it.
But that's the
I don't
thing.
like
We don't spend time to recognize ourselves.
Yeah, I agree. Because I can think of a ton of great things about both of you ladies, and you can't think of one.
I think I am very genuine, consistent, and authentic. Like I think I always show up. This is just who I am, and I don't. And that's actually one of the things that I was thinking about. What you were saying about social media. Ironically enough, as much as I tear myself down, and it's weird because even when you said that, I'm trying to get out of the habit of calling myself trash. Like I just always be like, I'm trash. I just always say that about myself. I'm trying to get out of the habit of doing that, but I also don't care what other people think about me. Like I don't care what people on social media think, and I don't care what. I mean, as much as I love the people in my life, I don't care what they think either.
But you
I
should
love that
have.
about her because she says what she wants to say, what's on her mind,
And it's always
and it's
ridiculous.
like, this is me, this is who I am. Accept it or not.
No matter how crazy it is, like I say wild things. Like I try not to say stuff that's like too ridiculous on the podcast, but I say some pretty ridiculous stuff.
Yes.
This is hard though, but this is what makes up our dynamic,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
Yep.
Sweetie,
Yeah, I
we're
know.
waiting on you.
I still don't have one.
So when you sign up for therapy, either you're gonna give us something about yourself.
I need to go. I do.
You
I
need a
probably
date
do.
when you signing up, home girl.
So what's your one, Chris? We're gonna come back to Selena.
Yeah. Give some
My
time.
one great thing about myself, I'm a flexible person and I'm able to communicate with people on every different type of level.
I would agree.
Agreed. Absolutely.
And we're still waiting on Salita.
You have to say at least one word. It doesn't have to. You don't have to elaborate. Just say one thing great about yourself. This is the first step. As your therapist, I demand you.
I have a degree in psychology.
So I do too.
She does too.
I don't know.
It's interesting. That's one of the top questions.
Anything dark. I don't know. I'm just
I agree.
That's good.
And I think that is a good thing.
Absolutely.
I think a lot of people think it's sometimes it's an awful coping
I
mechanism.
mean, I've been through a lot in my life, and
Yeah.
I can make a joke out of all of it.
Mhm.
You know.
Yep.
Oh, that's a beautiful thing.
We'll take
That's a
it.
beautiful thing.
It is
Absolutely.
beautiful. So, in the vein of this, there are some people who are not as uncomfortable with showing up as their rawest.
Let me tell you
They out
something.
of
I know where we're going
Where
with
is
this.
my
Now I'm
bonnet?
ready. Listen,
Let me
I
tell
gotta
you
stretch
something.
first. Hold
I
on.
left my bonnet. I
I
was
gotta
going
get
to slap
ready.
it on.
Oh, good. I gotta get ready. Come up.
I didn't even have to keep my posture no more.
Listen.
I have been looking forward to discussing this with y'all, and we've talked a little bit about it throughout the week. But one thing struck me, and in the conversation, when it struck me, I said, "Pump your brakes." Chris said to me, "What you say, Chris?"
I understand where she's coming from.
Bullshit.
Woo!
I don't believe you.
And
Wait a minute. Wait a
and
minute.
when she,
You think about the same person?
We
yeah,
are talking
and
about
when
The
she
helmet of
said,
we are
salvation?
talking about Derrick Jackson
With the helmet of
and his
salvation?
wife.
Okay, now let's pause because I don't understand. Well, in a sense, I have to say I thought about it in the shower today. I didn't watch that whole video because to me, it was in the spiritual realm that I wasn't there yet.
Wait, let
And
me interrupt you real quick, Chris.
She's behind
okay,
the veil. Okay, that's how far she up.
Just to make sure our listeners are up to date. What we
okay,
are talking about is Derrick Jackson, who is very popular on social media, was recently caught, or I guess we recently found out that he had been cheating on his wife. It's not news to her. She said that he's been cheating on her before she was even his wife. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, she did.
But he has
Mhm.
but he's become popular on social media by telling women what they should expect from a man. And by telling them how if a man does this, that, and the third, it means he doesn't love you. There's been a lot of women who have claimed to have left their relationships based on the advice that they received from him because they've determined that their man wasn't good enough based on the advice of Derrick Jackson. And Chris said that she understood his wife.
so Chris, and
okay.
I said, I can't wait to hear this.
I mean,
Go
okay, so
ahead.
if she's going from a business, if she's going to take it from a biblical point of view,
Let's get ready.
I can see
Let's
that.
get-
But the word of God says that
Hello.
she can step out because he had he cheated.
It is a Bible verse that say leave that nigga, sis. But Chris, which
Y'all
one you
gotta show me where that Bible verse at. I need to see that.
got on
But
my phone? It's edited. Go ahead.
It don't say it like
Go
that,
ahead,
but
go
you know,
ahead,
it don't
Chris.
say lead. It's not in the Ebonics version.
I'll wait. I'll reserve comment. Go ahead, Chris.
okay, so the first video that they posted, I just watched. There was no understanding there. It was another video that she posted on her page by herself when she said that she believed in the resurrection of Christ, moral of the story. She believes that the same way that God resurrected Jesus, he could resurrect her marriage. So that's where I connected and understood her at. Now, anything outside of that, sis kind of lost me. But I get
mean,
it. I honestly, when y'all said he cheated on her before marriage, I was around here looking for something red because that was a red flag, sis. You knew what you was getting into before you got into it.
Exactly.
So I think at this point, it's like financial attachment. Maybe sis don't work and she just been reaping the benefits. And I say ride the wave because I done seen a lot of women who husband and croaked over and they living good because they stayed married to him even if they were separated, but they still got all the benefits of his life.
The legal benefits.
Yeah.
So Chris said you got to focus on the long term.
The long game.
Yeah.
Don't think so small, okay?
Look at the big things.
She said just wait for him to die. I get it.
Get that life insurance policy.
So how do we
What?
know about the backlash? People were literally, and there's two different arguments here. There's one with her. Okay, yes, you were cheating on all this stuff. He's hypocritical. Yes. Then there was her appearance on these interviews. People were tearing her up. Okay,
We are the
talking
funniest
about
people
the
ever. I
bonnet
love us.
and that shirt. She didn't appear to be wearing any type of bra, no support.
You so nice.
Look,
She
what
did
do
not.
we
You
feel?
talking about she didn't appear?
Look,
She
and
was
this
not wearing
goes
no
back to
brassiere.
why we're so critical about each other
Brassiere.
because of how people tear each other down.
Yes.
That goes back to that ties into the how we feel so critical about each other because we'll be on there and we'll be like this. You know how you do with your hands?
Zoom
gotta
in
zoom in,
like,
like,
oh
oh, you
no,
see
the
her?
balls on her.
And you make sure you don't show up like that because you seen sis like that and you knew it wasn't right.
Like,
Now,
never.
granted, I'm not gonna tear her down, right?
No, I don't.
Because you want to know why? Because I too
I'm like,
look
really?
like her at home.
Rena?
Okay, I showed up at the whole catering with Layla and her best friend like that, with a nightgown on, a
But
blue
you
jean
also-
jacket.
Were you doing the interview though?
Exactly,
To
and
the
you didn't
world?
want to get out the
With
car.
your
You were
man?
mad when you found out you had to get out the car.
But I was still in public though.
But you didn't want to be. You didn't do it willingly. If you knew that you were going to have to get out the car, you would not have shown up that way. And you are lying if you say
you were going to be on national a national platform. Would you really?
I mean, you can ask Jamie, but that's neither here nor there.
If you knew you would have to get out of the car,
I'm on Selena's page though.
You're on a national platform now, and you look amazing. Are you like?
Come through national platform.
You know what? I always say, this is what I tell Jamie. I have the potential for greatness, right? So although I look like this now, there's the potential of greatness. It's just not there right now.
Gotcha.
So would I have come on there with a bonnet?
No.
I would have been.
No. I would have been like, I'm gonna need a minute.
No, I would have been on there. I probably would have had a hoodie on.
I need a minute.
I would have had a hoodie on with a bra. Because your drunk just can't be down here. Because I've been on the conference call for work with no bra. And I said,
but you do like this, and you do something to cover
it.
Yes.
She was on that joint like.
She was like, this is me, this is who I am. I got the helmet of righteousness and the belt of truth and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, Ephesians 6, I get it, but it felt like she was
in a word.
Correct.
To fit her situation.
Correct.
All right, let's flip it. She could have just been saying, I look like this and I'm still his wife. What up? You ain't got nothing. I'm reaping all his benefits.
That's true, too.
Ain't nobody seen that side of sis.
Yeah, that's true. But I would have taken a completely different approach. I wouldn't have showed up at all. Like, I didn't create this mess, and I'm not standing next to you to clean up this mess. Yep. I'm not doing it. Like, I wasn't there when you created this platform. I wasn't there when you built this platform. I don't really know a lot about him because I'm not on social media like that. I've only seen a very few amount of videos. This week I watched several videos, but as far as I've heard from other people, they didn't even know he was married. So
I didn't know he was married.
Caping for you, I'm not doing it.
And the crazy part is I used to always see his videos, but he looked like, when I heard him talking, I'm like, oh, I'm not dealing. Like, it's just like, he seemed like he was, shady. I'm like, ugh.
Mm-hmm. I had never heard this man before this whole scandal. And so I was really like, who is this guy? What?
Don't you do it.
This is where
Excel
black man don't cheat came from.
Excel is here with all the facts.
She
knows.
No.
And she said
she
would have been
in a bonnet.
That's a lie. Don't listen to these people.
She said,
"Producer, can you put the picture back up because sis got on a Gucci belt or some type of belt? It ain't just no normal belt."
Who got that?
She had the
like Portia. Who said that?
You. We just had a photo shoot. She had 2 Gucci belts, 2 different Gucci shoes. Okay, with the flip flops. Okay,
she got some YSLs.
Sis came through on some regular, like nobody's even gonna see my feet really type stuff.
So you showing up, Salito.
That's why I said I don't believe her when she said that she would have showed up that way. I do not believe her.
Listen, y'all don't know. Y'all don't know what I look like.
That's not what we're saying.
Have I not been outside to your house with Mitch Max socks on? You're not going to see me with a full nightgown on and a blue jean jacket, and he wouldn't even look at me.
But yes, but you still
yes.
Why nobody call me?
But
no lotion on my legs, none. They were white.
But that was fleeting.
I don't put lotion on. I'm all white over here.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying you didn't know that you would have. You didn't know that you had to get out the car.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter.
I would have came to. You guys can see me. I'll show you. That's okay.
Show us. I dare you.
On the next episode of Sistaz Talking Ish, Miss Salita will be on here in a full nightgown with a jean jacket, baby, and a bonnet.
And it can't be a designer bonnet.
And let me tell you something. I don't wear bonnets. I just let my hair fall out. I just let it get all country. So y'all can say what y'all want. I don't wear scarves or bonnets.
I have seen you wrap your hair up.
She said I just let it fall out.
So wait for next episode. Salita is gonna show us the real ish.
Yep.
Okay.
So are y'all would y'all still support Derrick Jackson after all of this? If y'all were supporters, would y'all continue to support him after this?
No, you're hypocritical.
But I get what he's what happened. So okay, I'm play devil's advocate. What he's saying in his videos is true.
In what way?
Well, how women should be treated, how women shouldn't be cheated on, this, that, and the other. What he's saying in his videos is not a lie. It's just that he's not living what he's preaching.
He's a perpetrator of what he says. Right. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
And in his videos, he never said that he was that type of guy.
Exactly. He was
That's
just
true.
telling.
He told
Exactly.
you to avoid his kind.
Yep.
So he's like, I'm a living example of what you should avoid, pretty much.
And
I kind of disagree though, because I've heard him say that if a man doesn't respect you or respect you enough or something along the lines of like cheating on you, then it means that he doesn't love you. So, but now he's trying to convince us that even though he cheated on his wife, it doesn't change how much he loves her. But in the past, he said that it does not mean that.
He became a new creature. You ain't hear that in the video?
hey,
He's a new creation.
Because prior to the coming out, tell me how many times y'all heard Derrick talk about God. I ain't watched all his videos, but I ain't heard bro talk about God.
I've never even before
he was
this
saved and filled with the precious.
Now, what I do know
highly sanctified.
is that this conversation that Chris was talking about, where he was talking about all of the stuff when it comes to God and having this video with his wife. I do know that I listened to an entire interview on YouTube where a woman that apparently was pregnant by him in December said that he texted her a whole hour after making that video with his wife. So how changed are we talking? So he a different man since he met God, or when he is this a?
He was a different man in that video. He could cut his lights off after he got off the camera.
Is this different man aspect still loaded? Maybe, I don't know.
Well,
because him and his wife got back together in October.
We need Miss Optimistic.
We need it because if his wife said they got back together in October and he got a side piece saying she was pregnant in December and saying that he texted her an hour after he made that video with his wife. What you doing? What I need your optimism.
I need her to bring some joy into this.
What I want to say is that
the flesh is weak.
The flesh is weak, of course. We are imperfect human beings, right? We all fail and fall short of the glory of God. Okay, so nobody is perfect. We are all saved through His grace, right? So can we, as a culture, this whole cancel culture nature, can we forgive him for transgressing? Can we say, listen, everybody make mistakes and blah 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 blah, and as Christians we're supposed to move on and accept the man and his faults and move on? Is that?
I mean, I don't care too much about him.
Could he have seen the light? Could he have seen the light and really moved on?
I mean, I don't care. I mean, he's okay. Put it like this. Because let me put my church hat on.
Go ahead, put it on.
So
let me get my fan.
If we are going by that point, then yes, you can forgive him, and yes, he can ask for forgiveness. But then, if you're asking for forgiveness and you're still sinning and doing the same thing over and over again, your repentance is not acceptable, because you're still being repenting is repenting for something and not doing the same thing over and over again.
I completely agree. Repenting is a 180. It's like you turn from it and you move on. But he seems like he's going back to the things that he
needs to resist from temptation.
So yeah.
Okay, so what if this was just all a publicity move? Because when they posted the video, it said by the book.
That's what my husband said. He's like, homeboy, first of all, did y'all see the video where he was in third person?
Yes.
Reviewing
his video.
His own video.
Mental illness.
And that's what my husband was like, man, this man is trolling. I can't even take him seriously. Like, he is tripping.
And then he was commenting, please buy my book, please buy my it's just I don't even pay attention. So I can care less.
The book part, I was like, wait, they put this out here, but also put the promo code for the book. This is interesting. This is a money move.
Buying the book.
And he's making tons of money on his YouTube channels because he has about 720-something thousand subscribers, and then he's getting over 100,000 in views. So if his videos are monetized, he's making thousands of dollars on top of that as well.
For us talking about this craziness.
I feel bad for sis. That's all I can say. And I pray whatever she... Yeah. I'm like, in all things, like she's being attacked this way, your husband is making money off of you. I hope she can find her peace. Because this is a lot.
Absolutely. And I was actually going to say, I don't think that it's fake. And one of the reasons why I don't think that it's fake is because I did go down to her Instagram.
Okay.
And she's been posting about this for months. Like, I found posts from like a year ago where she was talking about how she's been battered and abused and cheated on and like all of these things. So I don't believe that, I guess it's possible that they've been planning this for months. Some of the details that she shared to me were or that she shared to me.
I'm about to say, that's your friend?
Oh, that's your girl now.
Because I know her. That's That's how. This is why I don't do social media because I get invested in.
And she goes down the rabbit hole like, let me find out who her mama cousin is.
Or blood type and all that.
But some of the stuff was so intimate and showed such a vulnerable side that I just don't believe that somebody would go that far. She shared that she was so obsessed over this for so long. I guess what happened is she maybe found some videos or some women sent her videos, but there were women in their home. He was sleeping with women in their bed that they shared together.
So sad.
But she said that she was so obsessed over this that for a very long period, she would rewatch these videos. She would rewatch videos of her husband with other women.
14.
Yeah, like that's dark.
Yikes.
Okay, was this also along with her? Because I read posts from her too. I went down her Instagram. And this when she went down where she tried to make herself look like these women so that he would be more attracted to her. See, I read all that.
Yeah.
She literally shared how she had become obsessed with the women that he had cheated on her with. Yeah. She talked about how she would rewatch the video. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Chris. She would like try to like make herself look like them to become more appealing to him. I feel really bad for her. I don't want to beat her down. I do feel like she deserves better. I think that she needs to realize that she deserves better before she gets to that point. I also don't necessarily know that I feel bad because you went into this relationship knowing this, and I'm very much so a hold a person accountable type of a situation. And I feel like if you go into a marriage knowing this is what it is, to me, you can't really. People get married thinking people gonna change, and I think that's a bad way to go about it.
I agree.
Because most people don't.
Let's say she didn't know that, but she still has her own personal, like she has personal things happening, those personal battles. That's why I feel bad for her because she hasn't reached that point in her life where she's showing up confidently as her. And okay, let me take that back because in that video, maybe that was her showing up confidently as her. She was in her own comfortable, closed, comfortable setting. And now she has to prove to the world that this is my comfortable, like this is what I look like. And the world is like, that's why your husband cheated on you, you know?
The world needs to relax, okay? Because I've seen plenty of people show up to the grocery store with their bonnet on and in their pajamas. So I'm gonna need everybody to calm down.
Yeah.
Because why people
But it's because her husband is up here, so they expected her to show up here.
Exactly.
I think my biggest thing with that is if you know you about to be on TV, defending your marriage, defending what happened, and this is how you. I don't know. Like, that's just me. If I was,
but it's a problem for me.
For me, you know,
that's a problem for me. I posted a video sometime last year. My curls were pent up; they weren't down. I didn't have my hair down. I had a positive message to go. My friend called me and said, "Can you make sure the next time you do a video, you take your hair down?" So you missed the message, but you were concerned about how I came.
Yeah.
And that's not the first time that has happened to me. But a lot of people fail to realize the most wealthy and richest people show up like that.
That's true.
I mean, you see Bill Gates. I haven't seen him wear a designer, a nothing. Okay,
that's why I keep telling y'all.
Yeah.
Like people, I'll be just like her. Monday through Friday, I promise. That's the only reason I got all y'all buying headband wigs. I had to buy a headband wig because I was going to conference calls with hoodies on, and you cannot. They think that you can just wrap this up in a ponytail. This don't go up in a ponytail. My hair would be hanging out the side like her, like she popped that hat on when she had that purple hat on. My little hair would have been hanging out just like that.
It was right here.
And so I got a whole bunch of headband wigs so I could plop them on and go on my conference call.
Selena, I do the same thing, so I can't knock you. My husband has even came home and said, like, can you at least put a jogging suit on?
Exactly.
So he went and bought me jogging suits because he was tired of my work attire.
Yes. Jamie has thrown away clothes
that my husband hates. Listen, this robe is so sick.
I heard about the robe.
This shit
delicious. Okay,
I've never seen the robe. All I know,
the robe is so warm. It keeps me warm, and so the thing is that we had a house fire in March, actually almost a year ago of last year, and we lost everything. We just had the clothes on our backs.
Everything
But
except
the fire department let us go back in the house to retrieve a couple valuables.
Good
Baby, I got my robe. Baby, I washed that sucker.
I had to put my cup back
It
down.
was smelling wonderful, no smoke smell, and he hates that.
And you want to know who kept that robe for you?
Who?
Jesus.
Come through.
Hey,
Listen.
that is your robe of salvation.
He always coming.
Hallelujah.
Hey,
He's talking about he gonna find a way to burn me the next time he does a fire pit. But I understand those security items that the rest of the world may not get, but these are your items that you find comfort in. I found comfort in my robe. Anytime it gets cold in this house, I got my Michigan State alumni sweatshirt and my beautiful sexy purple robe.
Yes.
Maybe maybe an episode you'll see this purple robe. This robe is life.
well, I
Y'all
would
have a robe episode.
Oh, here goes the robe.
That is not sexy.
I like that.
He hates that robe.
It burned up in the fire. She literally went and got the motherfucker.
Oh my God.
Pockets for comfort.
Pockets.
You can put your phone in it.
Baby snacks.
Let me tell you, this is why y'all. I'm gonna tell you, y'all are bonding right now over this moment because Salita also has similar items that but Jamie threw them away. He throws them in the trash.
Jamie, how dare
and so and look, Tiff
throw
not
away
gonna,
the things that she loves.
Tiff not gonna be able to find her robe.
Don't you
either.
talk to Rodney. Don't talk to him about that.
I was thinking that, like, don't give my husband no ideas because he watching.
And let me tell you, my mom bought me a new cape. And let me tell you about this new cape.
Jamie said
they got a hood on it and everything. I'm ready.
What was them pajamas you used to wear?
I had onesie pajamas that you zip up.
They're so comfortable.
He threw it in a garbage can. He threw it away.
Jamie, really, she was comfortable.
It was amazing.
I can't believe you did.
Okay, so can we make a deal?
What?
Can y'all just start calling them comfortable? Like
That's
come on now, sexy.
It's dead sexy.
That's a nice
When I
robe.
stick my leg out that sleeve. That ain't sexy come
You
through.
pulled a thigh out. Listen, you're clearly attached to that robe because
It's sexy.
isn't it dangerous to have that?
What? Just because you walk around nude.
I have other roles.
It was in a fire.
Roll.
Just about isn't it dangerous?
Cleaned it. It's no smoke smell. It's just beautiful.
Please.
It's sexy because she doesn't wear anything under it, Kalia.
I don't believe her.
Okay.
If that was the case, her husband wouldn't hate it. Exactly. See, she just said she usually got something on underneath
To
it.
be honest, I usually have something under it, but I'm just saying it's dead sexy.
If she was butt naked under that robe, her husband would not be
He
mad
still
about
wouldn't care.
He don't think it's sexy at all.
it. He talking about the
He in the
robe.
production room talking all through the I can't take it.
The funny part is, I know about the robe. He done gave me a whole speech about the
We've all heard about his robe. We've
Yes.
heard about the robe.
Yes.
We've heard about the onesie.
This is the backbone of American
Here
society.
we go with the backbone
here
of
we
American
go.
society.
Listen, I say this a lot.
About
Different
everything.
things are the backbone of American
So you guys
society.
hear this a lot.
My
Even things that
daughter
are made in
hates it.
China.
You're gonna hear this, so just get used to it, okay? That robe is the backbone of American society. I'm trying to tell you folks today. You know what else? You know what else is the backbone of American society? A legend, Miss Aretha Franklin.
Yes.
The one thing we did this week, we all watched the series on Hulu about Miss Aretha, and there were some things I did not know.
Mhm.
There was a lot. It was emotional for me. How about you all?
It was a hard watch.
It was definitely a hard watch.
It really was. And I did not know, us being from Detroit, there's a lot that we just did not know. And I do acknowledge that these are events told from another person's point of view or other people's points of view. So not everything may be historically accurate. I do understand that.
Mm-hmm.
But from what I saw in this film, okay, Miss Aretha is she is a survivor. She survived. I don't know if I would have been able to, talent notwithstanding, I don't know if I would have been able to go out and perform and achieve what she achieves, coming from where she came from. What do you all think?
I think all I did was watch it, and I was in the corner rocking back and forth.
Like I watched it with Kalia's
Did
dad
you watch
the
it,
other
Chris?
day. We were watching it.
I did watch it. her having a baby at 12 and 14 and then still being who she was. And I'm 30 and I'm struggling having 2 kids, getting to where I need to be. But she was 12 and 14 and she's legendary.
It was that part for me because I don't understand
But the part
how you have a baby at 12 and somebody not under the jail.
Mm-hmm.
Me too.
That part
But
too.
name her.
But I guess those were the times in the day because even her father had some, got somebody pregnant when the girl was like a teenager, or 12,
she
or
got the little girl pregnant.
got the little girl pregnant.
A girl?
How?
Yeah. You
I missed that part. No.
The little girl's mom came to the house and was like, where's her dad? And the wife, this is back when he was still married. The wife
when they
was
were
like,
in Tennessee, Memphis.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Then she went to to get the baby.
She was slick. She was slick with that one because she seen that she realized that there were 2 cribs.
That said Franklin or something.
Yep. And she was like, why did my husband order 2 cribs?
Mm.
And then she said I made 2 blankets and I don't need them. So if it's somebody else expecting in the neighborhood, I want to know who it is so I can take them this other blanket. And that's how she found out who the woman is. But y'all said 12-year-old, like a single 12-year-old. So y'all don't think
what?
Y'all don't think Aretha Franklin daddy is her baby daddy?
No,
so I was talking.
They said it was somebody. They said it was somebody in her school.
Are you sure?
They said it was another person, like a little boy in her school. I don't think it was her dad.
Because I was talking.
How was it another boy at her school? She got pregnant both times while she was on tour.
No, but they were.
Yeah.
They were talking when they were asking about the dad. They said when they were asking about the child's father, she said, "Oh, I think it was a boy from one of the like a neighborhood boy." I don't think it was her dad.
She wasn't even in the neighborhood when she got pregnant.
She was on tour.
Mm-hmm.
So
she's on tour both times.
I was watching this your dad the other day, and he said a good point. He said that when she woke up that morning, he was acting real funny.
Yep.
He gave her the Alka-Seltzer.
Yep.
It just was
He said, "Don't you regret coming out your room last night, or don't you regret not?" He said something like that, and I'm like, "That's weird for a dad to say."
Like I told you to. Like, wait a minute, that was her fault that she got, molested. Are you serious?
She just had a really, really hard life, and it was just really unfortunate.
Her dad was super weird. Her dad was absolutely
weird. They didn't display it as if she had a hard life. I didn't get that from this.
No, I didn't either because even when she had those 2 kids at a young age, and I think even like when Chris mentioned, like, well, and I'm struggling right now. I think she did. To me, what I saw is an amazing support system. It seems like her grandmother was absolutely amazing. Even the woman that her dad married later on in life, who he spent a long time with, she also seemed like she was an amazing support system for all of the kids as well. But it was so much stuff about the dad that rubbed me wrong. And it's so much stuff that I connected to when it came to the grandmother, because even the grandmother's reaction when she found out that she was pregnant at 12, her grandmother's reaction to me was more aligned with what her father should have been.
That's why he was the one who did it.
Yes, I agree.
Was so extra calm. First of all, I'll be like, who did this to you? Who was the boy? I'm about to go get him.
Yep, he never
told her. He said, we're going to take care of this baby. Because she said, what about the, and he said, we're going to do what we have to do. Moral of the story is what he said. So it was, the way the things were worded was really interesting.
You said it was a mission from God?
Yeah. He called the baby that his 12-year-old daughter was carrying a blessing.
I don't think. Okay, I'm gonna play devil's advocate.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna need you too.
We need you
because he's clearly a pedophile. If he had baby with another 12-year-old,
any child from God is a blessing. And although she got pregnant at 12, it was already written in her life that she was going to have a baby at 12 and 15. So that was already predetermined in her life. So whether or not she was 12, 22, 52, whatever the case is, it was already written that she was going to have a baby. Mm-hmm. It's just. I don't think her dad was the father. I think it was somebody else because she was being influenced because she was so young by many people that was on the older and irresponsible, taking her to clubs and all type of things. So it was other people, and she was going to different places that she was doing things that she shouldn't have been doing. Like she went someplace and with Sam Cooke. It was rumors going around that she was left out of Sam Cooke hotel room. Because I was acting like you when I was watching. I was Googling it. I was I had my computer going. You know what I mean? So
I watch TV.
there was multiple rumors, going around when she was that young. But when I say that, I'm going back to when I say that she had a tough life, because the things that she experienced in her life, I think had an effect on her as an adult with the relationships that she was in.
Absolutely.
I agree with that.
So many things weren't clear, like what happened with her and the dude that was playing New Edition. Remember him? He was her husband. We just assumed that they got divorced. The guy from New Edition.
You talking about the one guy that
the last
His name started with a T.
Oh, you talking about Glenn, the guy that played
Glenn
Colonel Taylor on the Different World?
Not him.
No, it is.
Well, yeah, him. So what happened? So I read the caption. It said something like, okay, her divorce and her death of her father. But we never saw them get divorced. We just saw him saying, "Why you not coming back?"
And that's probably the reason. That probably
was
the reason why she had a divorce, because she wasn't there.
Yep, I put that together, but I'm like, y'all never kind of wrapped that up.
So why did T.I. leave? Is it because she did her sister wrong?
And I think it was because she was getting a big head.
Yeah, she was getting a big head.
Her second husband's name is Glenn.
Terman.
Okay,
yeah, Glenn Terman.
He was like,
Colonel Taylor.
Well, how could you do that to your sister? And she was like, I mean, he came to me first, but I was busy. I'm not busy no more.
And I'm like, really?
That's what I thought.
In two different places, so I don't think I can really rock with you right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. But don't y'all also think that he was like the first? He seemed like the first person who she was in a relationship with that kind of checked her character.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because she was drinking a lot.
I actually liked him for her.
Yep,
He was just like, he was doing the most. You chill out. Like, he kept that balance.
Mm-hmm.
Jackie says he's the father of her firstborn.
She's talking about that daddy. She's talking about her daddy.
I think so too. I am telling you, that man is creepy.
Okay, so then if we think about it, the second born, did y'all realize he got pissed when he found out she was pregnant?
Exactly. What's that about, right?
Yep.
Because she was older at that point. Yep. I picked up on that too, Chris. And I feel the same way that Jack feel. I feel like he is the dad of her firstborn. I don't know that he's the dad of the secondborn, but I do remember that that reaction he had the second time. That's the reaction he should have had the first time.
The first time, yeah.
I wonder if that's the reason why she had she also seemed to me to have a weird connection with her dad. And she also seemed to have this weird connection with the women that he would bring into her life. Like every time he would bring a woman around, she would kind of cling to that person. And I wonder if she did that because maybe that was like alleviating some of the pressure off of her. So she like, please, girl, stay.
Right, please.
And I'm void of wanting a mom as well.
That's true.
Yeah, agreed.
That's true. But most people act out in anger in those situations. Like you lose your mom when you 10. Like most people are not open to having a new mom show up, especially when you have a dad like her dad who always bring home a new mama.
She was like, "Come on, through. I hope you stay."
It's really sad.
It was sad,
but it does explain a lot. Because I didn't go. I went through some similar things like her, but not exactly.
We should have started with this spoiler alert.
What?
Oh, spoiler alert.
Oh, I'm sorry. You haven't seen
that we let the whole cat out the bag, okay?
But because
you want to stop right here.
And we'll be true to this soon. We're gonna start telling y'all spoiler alerts.
I think it was just really unfortunate. Because I've been through some things not maybe a little similar to her, but not really. And I just think that her going through those things as a child, I just think that it had an effect on all of her relationships that she's had with everyone else, because everyone was trying to take so much of her. Like her father poured so much of her, but she had other siblings that were amazing singers as well.
But you don't think that's weird though, that he
what
gave so much attention to her?
And Carol. Remember her and Carol? Her sister.
Yeah, Carolyn.
Yes.
Remember she took that, and then
the sparkle thing from
the
her.
Sparkle.
Unexplained.
But you don't think that's weird though, Salita? You don't think that is weird? Because you just pointed that out, and I also noticed that. But you don't think it's weird that even though he had two other daughters and another son, and he still paid so much attention to her?
Her dad is just a perverted person.
Talented too.
It's just her. She's a perverted person.
The teachers. Oh my gosh, the sisters made it clear that dad took care of all of them.
Yeah,
because she was like, "Daddy's sending you some money soon," and Aretha was like, "Daddy, stop sending money." But that's when she wouldn't go to the thing.
Still seemed like she was up here and they were down here. Even towards the end when her dad got really sick, remember she had her whole husband and her kids all the way in LA and didn't feel comfortable leaving Detroit. And they even said, like, you can leave, we got this. And she said in that moment, like, well, I'm his favorite, he needs me here.
Yep.
Y'all don't think every parent got that one kid though that they invest a little bit more in? I hate to say it.
I think they do. I definitely think they do. I think you would know a little bit about that.
Shots fired, bro.
Y'all go through y'all whole thing with who y'all mama's favorite is. I just want to state for the record that my husband is her favorite son. I do agree that parents oftentimes will, and we should probably talk about this on another podcast too. I do think that's a thing, and I think that oftentimes it's weird for the other siblings because parents will give more to one kid, assuming that that kid needs more, or that kid requires more, or that kid has more to offer in the long term. And to me, that's not fair because maybe some of the other kids need too, but maybe they're not what's the word? Maybe vulnerable enough to ask for help. Some people have a hard time asking for help.
He was cultivating the gift that he saw, is how I seen that relationship.
He was cultivating that gift.
I thought they were all super.
But
well,
could it be
I thought
that
the
the
others
other
were super
kids-
talented as well.
I think he maybe saw Aretha as more of a star.
He's like
Sort of like the
cool,
Beyonce, Kelly, and Michelle.
or
She's
Beyonce and
Beyonce.
Solange.
Yep.
Like maybe Beyonce got a little bit more,
Yep.
more attention.
But it was definitely
Because
a
of her
really
sad.
good. It was a really good movie. It explains a lot about who she was.
Yep.
Yeah.
It did.
I enjoyed it.
I did too. It was emotional, but I did. Overall, I'm glad I watched it.
I think the one that, because her family didn't want this one to come out, so I
Right.
think the one that comes out with Jennifer Hudson,
Uh-huh.
I think that's going to be more of a happy version.
More general.
I don't want
more
to see that watered down version.
mainstream. Like,
So it is going to be another one. I didn't know it was going to be another one. I kept wondering, like, what is this? Why isn't Jennifer Hudson playing her? Okay.
Yep, that's the next one coming. I don't know where it's going to be released. If it's going to be in theaters.
But it
or
was really
whatever.
good. I really enjoyed it. Her dad was a scumbag.
She said that she wanted Jennifer Hudson to
I
play
felt
her
bad
too.
when he passed.
Did you?
I
You
did.
really did?
I did because
I
I
jumped
wanted
for
to.
joy.
I honestly, in my mind, in my
I can't do that when people
glasses
die.
half full mind, I was waiting for
I
them
can't.
to reconcile. I was waiting for them to have a moment where he was like, "My bad," I
I
wasn't
don't
the
think
best
he would have never said
dad,"
that though.
or something happened maybe on his deathbed. Like I was waiting for that moment to happen where he was like, "Oh, I messed up a little bit," and for
That's
them
your
to be some
optimistic
kind of
side.
amending.
That
But-
was her optimistic side.
Yeah, he was, you know what I'm saying? So that was my thing. But should they have kept him like alive for 4 years?
That was morbid.
I didn't like that part. Like y'all should have let him go along. But that was Aretha's decision, apparently. So,
And especially because she was paying for it.
yeah.
And maybe that's what she would. And maybe that's the. Listen, I'm telling
She
y'all.
was hanging on like Tiff.
Exactly, hoping that he would come back and make it, and make all of his rights and make all of his wrongs right.
Like that.
Yes,
She was hanging, for real. She was hanging on like Tiff.
all of the other kids were ready, and she was the one that was holding on.
Yeah.
Her kids, the other brothers, is just like, I'm tired of him.
She was like, listen, this man, he's gone. Let's just go ahead and wrap this up.
I thought it was sad. Even her feeling like she didn't know who she was without her dad, and the codependency part for me was really sad. Like not feeling like she had anybody else in her life that would validate her once he was gone, and like she said things like he always made her feel like a star. Like so you, and that actually is a good point that she made in that moment, because oftentimes you can have all of this validation from all of these other people, but if you're not getting it from that one person who you really want it from,
right.
like nothing else matters. Somehow you can be the queen of soul where you have all of these people coming to show you exactly how amazing you are every day, and you feel like if your dad is gone, you're nothing.
Yeah, that was that whole conversation when he was, she was talking to him. She's just like, Daddy, I need you to tell me. I felt so bad.
Yeah,
But think about that. People deal with that every day, the loss of a parent. That's how the mind really works, though. Like, that's reality for a lot of people.
Which
When
goes to
you're-
show as parents, like we all are parents. We all have an impact on our kids.
Yeah.
Like,
So we have to prepare them to survive for life after us.
Yeah.
I think that's something my mom has done a great job with me on. I don't know about my brothers, but she's like put that in my head because we all had a different level of spoiled, but like I'm be messed up, but I think she's also embedded in my mind. Like, go live your life.
Yep,
I agree.
absolutely.
Your mama is the bomb.
I know, girl. I like her. She alright.
She sounds like her.
Okay.
That's my homegirl.
Yeah.
I tell
What
everybody,
happened?
my mother-in-law is one of the most amazing women in the world.
I said she was a great. She was here a couple weeks ago. I'm like, she was the best guest. She's over here doing laundry and stuff. Like, you don't have to do all that. She's sweeping up and doing. I'm like, you don't have to do that. But that's her, you know.
You know, she can't
I
help
be
it.
asking like, can you move in?
Right.
Exactly. She go to a complete stranger's house and be straightening up something.
Right.
She
Taking
can't
your
even
plate
help
before
it.
you're done eating. Like, I love it.
I be all jacked up. Like, I just want to go to my mama's house. Like, I go to my mama's house and I ain't got to do nothing. I go to sleep. I'm going to wake up. It's going to be a meal there.
Exactly.
Takes care of folks.
That's so nice.
Salita, like, that's something.
It's beautiful. It's wonderful.
You don't know anything about
I'm not going to say anything.
You can come on over to our house, okay? It's okay. Come on over.
No, in real life, like Salita can definitely do it. She does a great job at like getting people to do things because she was able to get my mom to cook for an entire weekend. Salita said those potatoes that you make that one time were amazing. She said before you leave and go back to Michigan, I need meals from you.
I have her mama and make a meal.
Salita planned out a menu for my
Oh,
house
that's
for
right.
a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. She put it was a whole 3-day menu, and my
So
mother
she cooked it.
3 days. Yeah.
I remember I was there for the conversation and she was plotting on these potatoes.
Our mother-in-law's in the comments. Jack said, I love y'all.
I
Oh, we love you more.
I love you too.
She said, come back.
I know, right?
Come home. Yeah, no, it was amazing though. So I do want to do a really quick update. I think it was our first podcast where we talked about the whole situation between Sharon Osbourne and Cheryl Underwood.
Yes.
And this week, actually, Sharon Osbourne came and she provided an announcement saying that she was going to be leaving the show. It seems like she may have quit, but the network came out, I think it's NBC, they came out and said that the actions of Sharon Osbourne were not aligned with those of their culture.
So it sounds like you got fired.
It sounds like she,
my pearls.
sounds
Wait
like
a
she
minute.
got
What
fired.
happened?
It sounds like she got white people fired, but they was like, we gonna fire
White
you,
people
but we
fired.
gonna allow you to resign. And then
Exactly.
she probably because I believe that they usually are like on a contract or something, so they probably paid her out of her contract too. Which probably
They
made
did
it
say
even
that they
easier.
paid her. I saw that they paid her. They paid her a good amount to walk away.
So how do y'all feel about it? Do y'all feel like because she was paid out of her contract that lessens the blow, or are y'all glad that they fired her? Or
I don't watch the show. So.
I don't watch the show, but I feel like if there is to be a consequence for saying something out of turn or saying something that's not in line, then exactly.
But it's a contract, a legal thing. So if she had a contract,
right?
They had no choice but to pay her.
But I feel like, did she really learn anything?
No.
Was there really an actual, tangible consequence for this?
No.
I mean, she owed his head and she got money and they gave her more money. So, I mean, is she really suffering?
But she did lose a job, and some people who lose a job could go into a state of depression, but it wasn't a real.
This is Ozzy Osbourne.
How many jobs y'all didn't lost?
Like, who is she talking about somebody? She married to Ozzy Osbourne.
I hope he got some bread left. I really don't think that they're hurting.
I don't think they're hurting
at all.
No. Their kids are making money.
A regular person who's not in the limelight, has years of wealth under their belt. I feel like they're gonna be fine.
She'll be fine.
Are y'all glad that they fired her?
I don't care. I don't watch the show.
I'm with Talita.
No, I don't watch it
really
either.
Watch the show, but okay, so let's back it up. What is the reasoning behind her firing?
Saving face.
It's right. It's because the network. She said something that wasn't in line with the views of the network.
And they don't want the legal jargon. They don't want the backlash.
And allegedly, right? actually preempting some sort of backlash, they decided to let her out of her term or whatever. Which means she said some mess and got caught up, and they just said you gotta go. So I don't really care. Like,
So I don't watch the show.
I don't watch any of these shows.
I don't care. I don't care either way.
I don't care about her.
What do you think, Chris? I mean, I have an opinion. What do you think?
I think they just did that to save face for their network, so it's not really
because it was
like,
backlash. Yeah.
So they're band-aiding. There we go. They're putting a band-aid on something that's deeper than a band-aid. You have to do surgical work for that.
Because you got what's the other show? You got Megan McCain. She says ridiculous stuff all the time.
All the time.
And she still got her fluffy self on the show.
You say fluffy stuff
every day. And she fired.
So it's a little deeper than just like band-aiding. That
So when Megan McCain says something ridiculous, she would get the same terms where she would get paid out of her contract, and she will be exited off the show. Like, you know.
I think it was a little bit different with Sharon Osbourne because it seems like she offended so many different people that this was kind of like the final straw. Like she had already made comments before calling like prior black hosts. I think it was Holly Robinson.
She called her ghetto.
She called her ghetto.
Her and Leah. What's her name?
Leah Remini.
Yep.
She called them ghetto. She called their Asian co-host, who was, I believe, married to the president of the network or something like that. She made comments about her.
Julie.
Yep. Mm-hmm. She made comments about her. She made comments about one of their lesbian co-hosts, I believe, and called her like a.
Did she know who she married to?
Darlene.
She was married to a whole crackhead.
Exactly. And like, can you come in for all of these different people? So I think
are you taking her and biting the head off a bat?
I'm like, are you serious? Yes. But I think between her coming for Black people and then coming for Asian people and then coming for the LGBTQ plus community and then now coming for Cheryl Underwood. I think this was just the final straw for them. I have a little bit of an opposite opinion because so I'm gonna let y'all in on a little secret, on a little back end production side of this podcast that we got going on here. We have already agreed prior to doing this podcast that I am going to be the reason why we get canceled. Okay, so maybe because I hold that position, maybe that is why I feel. I'm not gonna say I feel bad for her because I feel like you have to stand behind the comments that you make. But I do feel like oftentimes we are very much like we're like quick to just write people off for stuff that they say and do. And I wanted to, that's why I wanted to preface this by saying I think that this was the final straw because this wasn't the first thing that she had done to offend someone. I can be pretty offensive. So, and I'm not going to apologize because my heart is in the right place.
You just won't see us anymore.
Listen, sisters, we are unapologetic who we are. Unapologetic.
It's so interesting that she says that and then gets upset with my nephew, but I'm listening.
You know what?
Ooh.
I own it. I own that 100%. And he is the one. He is the one out of all of the 6 kids who I butt heads with the most, and it is because he's most like me. I admit that all the time. He's very much so like me. Oftentimes he does come off as an ass, but he's a very genuine person. He just has a very hard time not telling you exactly how he feels. Like, and sometimes it doesn't come off nicely. I think I agree with you. I was
like, but you just said you do the same thing, so
I do, and honestly, that's why a lot of times I'll get mad at him, and then I'll go back to him and I'll apologize. I apologize to him probably more than I apologize to any of the kids because he'll say things that provoke me. I'll go off, I'll snap, and then I have to go back and I have to apologize because I'm like, what you said isn't wrong, and I know your heart. Like I know you didn't mean to be hurtful, but it hurts.
I get it. Continue on. I couldn't let that moment go without representing my kids.
I agree with you 100%. He's a lot like me, and we mean well. Like we have good intentions. Like we're not trying to hurt people's feelings. We just have a hard time.
Honest.
A nice way to say what it is.
Got you.
Do y'all have kids like that? Like moments like that where y'all feel like, dang, this kid is a lot like me, but dang, they make me mad.
Yep, Layla. My daughter and her son are the same person. That's why they don't talk to each other, because
they cannot stand each other.
They don't. They're not fans of each other, but because they're the same person. So Layla's like, he's always sarcastic. I'm gonna say, you are the same person as Devin. You are the same. You guys are the same person.
Yep.
You guys just are the same person.
Same here. My daughter's. Do you know that Devin and Layla are into a lot of the things that you are into? And she's like, no, I didn't know. I'm like, because you don't get to know.
Right? But they're gonna bump heads, and I think it's kind of to Chris's. I think it's kind of to Chris' point, like just how me and Devin clash a lot is because we're a lot alike, so we bump heads a lot. And Layla and Salita are a lot alike, so they bump heads a lot. But on the flip side, Devin and Layla don't talk. Like Layla and Jordan are really close. She doesn't like Devin.
They don't rock with each other.
And we're always like, but y'all are the same. Like, and we'll talk about this on another episode too. But I think that kind of goes to like how people say like two people that are the same shouldn't be together. Opposites attract. Like opposites attract for a reason, because if people are the same. And
it's like a clashing because it's
because the funny part is because when she spazzed out on Devin last week, Jordan told Layla it's our cue. Like he was looking out for Layla. He was like, "It's time to go." And Layla was like,
"Yeah." He tapped Layla like, "That's our cue, girl. Stop us to go upstairs. It's about to get ugly." But I think this is a really good full circle moment, right? Because we started off the podcast talking about how we have a hard time showing ourselves grace and how we have a hard time seeing the good and the beauty in us. And I think that is one of the reasons why we clash so come in contact with people who are the same as us, because you see all of those things that you want to change about yourself in that person.
And then there are children, so we have influence over our kids. You know what I mean? So absolutely.
You kind of feel responsible, right? Yep. You're like, dang, I created this.
Like, oh, I know.
Brought this monster into this world. I love you, but good Lord, they just like me. No.
You're like, why couldn't you get all of my good characteristics?
Like, why you got to have all my attitude and all that stuff? Dang.
Like, you can't pick and choose. Like, wouldn't it be nice? Chris, what would you like to be able to pick and choose which one of your characteristics your kids get, and then keep on the bad ones to yourself and get them all the good ones?
But I've recognized that they all work together. It makes them who they are. So Avery is just like me, and it drives me insane. But if she wasn't like me, she wouldn't be the great person that she is. She's an amazing person, and it allows me to look at me in a different light. Because I'm like, if I act like you, then I'm the bomb, bro. Because you're the bomb. She get on my nerves, but sis still is amazing to me.
That's true.
Oh, we need her to move here.
I know.
It would be like the trifecta.
Chris. Come on through, Chris. I feel like it's been a couple years.
Oh,
It's gonna be a ripple effect.
So I do want to give you an opportunity, Chris, to talk about what you currently have going on.
Yeah, what's going on, Chris?
What is going on? Tomorrow, I will be doing the 3rd episode of Transparency Place, which is us just being real as women and talking about the different emotions and things that we go through. I'm actually bringing on my sister in love tomorrow, and we're going to talk about motherhood, entrepreneurship, and marriage. So I'm going to do that every Sunday. My hope is at 8:00 Eastern Standard Time that we will launch Transparency Place, and we will be transparent. Let's be honest. Let's talk about the real. Let's talk about the emotions, because a lot of us deal with emotions behind closed doors, but we can heal from the testimonies of others, right? If I know that I'm not going through this alone, or that someone has went through this and lived through this, then I can make it through, right? So that's what we're going to talk about. That's what this place is about. I want to invite people into my place, and that's really what I spend a lot of my time thinking about. Salita calls me deep all the time. She's like, we got to get serious when you come around. So, yeah, I want to talk about the what I think is surface level, but a lot of people think is deep. There we go.
Yeah, I think
she's doing life coaching too.
Yep.
I am a certified life coach. Yes. I don't tell people that too often.
You're an amazing therapist.
I think you would be
Yeah.
Yeah.
My Chris, and she'd be like, she's so level-headed and middle ground. Like she thinks of things I didn't even think about because I'm all the way up here, and she's like, "Wait a minute, let's come to me, okay? Let's come back to reality." So love it.
And that's what it is. A lot of people don't face reality. We get a lot of people that live in fairy tales. Like, own up to your truth and live in it, and just watch what can happen if you do that.
Yeah. I'm really excited for it though. I watched your first episode of Transparency, so I'm extremely excited about it. I think it is going to be absolutely amazing because I think the world of you. So I think you are absolutely amazing.
Thank
I think it's
you.
going to be dope. And hopefully we'll be able to have you as a guest on our podcast again.
Hopefully you ladies will come, because I feel like as married women, you have years of experience. You have a lot to bring to the table. And as you said, what?
Yeah.
We just going with the flow. We don't know what we're doing over here.
But that's life, right? But you have so much that you can pour into women like myself. So like, I can call y'all when I'm going through, and you can really talk me through, because I'm new to this.
Yep.
Right?
I agree. But we freestyling with your brothers over here, so God bless us.
Yep.
Oh Lord.
But we thank you guys for enjoying our podcast and coming to join us for this evening. We would come and join us next weekend, and we'll have some more topics and some more laughs and some more drinks. Thank you, Chris, for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Transparency, you guys remember to check Chris out on her app
Tomorrow.
tomorrow. Yep.
On the Real Ish Radio Network.
It's been real, y'all.
It's been
Peace
real.
out.
Thanks for seeing.